How to host and market a super profitable yard or garage sale, the ultimate guide. You'll find this comprehensive guide helpful and easy to read, whether you are just trying to get rid of redundant stuff or are a reseller looking to expand your business, a volunteer planning a charity fundraising event, or an experienced yard sale marketer coordinating your next event. Watch now. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm doing fantastic today. I hope you are doing great as well. If you are doing great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today, I want to talk to you about how to host and market a super duper profitable yard or garage sale, the ultimate guide. Now, let's first talk about how to plan a yard or garage sale. You want to advertise in advance. When it comes to advertising for a garage sale, you can advertise everywhere and anywhere. I'm talking about the local paper, newspaper inserts, online, social media, online boards, word of mouth. You can also have a homemade sign. Those are fine. Just make sure they are big enough to read and include arrows, the address, and perhaps the phone number in case people can't find you. Always use bright colors and keep it to a few words as possible. All right, you can even text someone with checking on the signs throughout the sale to make sure they are still up and looking good. Now, the busier the street where you plant the signs, the better. But be aware of sign ordinances in your neighborhood, right? Because all cities don't have the same ordinances when it comes to signs. You want to spread the word in other ways as well. I'm talking about posting notice of your sale to Craigslist, your local newspapers, classified ads, and websites like Yard Sale Search. Number 2, set up the night before. You always want to do things beforehand. People show up to garage sales bright and early to get the best items. So even if you advertise that your sale starts at 8 a.m., remember, people are going to show up at 7. So for that reason, it is very beneficial. It could be beneficial for you to get everything set up as early as possible. All right. Number 3, check things out with your neighbors. Don't think about doing this alone. Maybe your neighbors or people down the block want to participate. So if you have neighbors on your street who also have items to sell, you can make it into a larger sale or even a block sale to attract more potential buyers to the area. So go door to door and get the whole block involved. That will be fantastic. Number 4, provide clearly marked parking. When shoppers show up to your garage sale, you want to tell them where they should park. If you don't want them to pull up directly in front of your house or in your flowers bed, make it clear where else they should go. If possible, put up orange cones to indicate the parking spaces available to shoppers. Number 5, check the weather. Now, the thing here is you can't really predict the weather, right? But you want to check the weather in advance and have some kind of estimate of whether or not it will be sunny or be cold or rainy on that day. Okay, you want to plan things in advance, and if you cannot change the date, make sure if it's raining on that day, have a backup plan, have a plan B. Are you going to bring some sort of parasols or some umbrellas out? You need to think about those things in advance. Now, pick your spot. The yards is better than the garage because you have more lights, more space. People can see the wares clearly from the streets, and the whole thing looks more festive and inviting, right? But if the weather, as I said earlier, the weather is not welcoming, you don't want your stuff rained on, right? If it rains or snows and inside or out, so you'll have, because not only is it bad for the wares, you also have fewer shoppers that will come over. So think about the spot. Number 7, provide clear directions. This sort of harks back to what I said earlier about the parking, right? So the parking and the ads. So if you put in street signs, you want to keep it as clear as possible. You can also use signage around your home to direct people to your sale. Start at the main roads and then post clear signs with large text that is readable from a moving vehicle at a glance and direct people right to your door, block or into the neighborhood where the sale is occurring. The next tip you need to think about when it comes to planning your sale is to keep it simple. And when it comes to pricing, keep the pricing simple. Price everything in quarter increments to make transactions simpler. I'm talking about you can sell things for, $7.25, $7.50, $7.75, $8.25, $8.50. This allows things to go faster. Don't try to start playing complicated pricing here and having things listed for $8.93, $8.93 or $10.21. No, this just will make it complicated for you. You'll have problems with change. And even if you have plenty of change on hand, it will just be a lot of hassle. So price everything in quarter increments. Have plenty of change on hand. Keep at least one roll of quarters, at least $20 in $1 bills, and at least a few $5 and $10 bills handy. You can use a bag like a fanny pack so you can keep the money on you. Number 9, set up solid display tables and a table for purchases. You want the tables to be solid, to be sturdy. You'll need a variety of tables, of course. If you want to hold the garage sales, you need several tables, and you need the tables to hold all of your merchandise, right? As well as table for customers to lay down their items and for you to collect the money from buyers. In addition, you want to make sure that those tables are sturdy, they are solid enough to hold the weight of all your items, because you don't want anything falling over while people are shopping. All right, I'll be right back right after this, and I'm going to talk to you about how to keep a yard sale alive and active. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still having a wonderful conversation today around what? How to host and market a super profitable yard or garage sale. This is the ultimate guide, folks. I spoke to you in the first section about how to plan a yard sale. Now let's talk about how to keep a yard sale alive and kicking. Okay, if you love the clarity and the quality of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and smash the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell, like this content, share, and comment below. How to keep a yard sale alive and active. Sell beverages and food. People are more likely to stick around and shop if they're comfortable. And everybody knows that, if people are full and they are, if they're thirsty, they are more likely to leave. But if they have if they have access to water or beverages and food, that really will keep them there. Okay, so providing bottled water for sale and even hot dogs can keep shoppers lingering longer, particularly if it's a block or neighborhood sale, and can also boost your profits that day. Have music. Playing music can help sales as well as provide a nice atmosphere. You want to tailor, though, this is very important when it comes to music at yard sales. You want to tailor the music to the target audience. The last thing you want is just playing some kind of music that does not appeal to the shoppers, right? So you want to think about the music selection very carefully. Number 12, don't stalk visitors. This is very annoying. I don't know about you, but I personally find it very annoying when I go to a store and you have store employees follow me around. That's very annoying. And so you don't want that. You don't want to have that. Don't hover around. Give people space. You can acknowledge shoppers at your sale with a smile or a wave to show you're available, and then leave them to it. You can consider offering them free drinks such as water, lemonade, tea, or cheap soda. And if they need to talk to you, they'll contact you. They'll come back to you. Next thing is you want to place items for sale in areas that are easily accessible, right? The last thing you want is, placing items somewhere people cannot even get to. If people can't get to your items for sale, they're not going to buy them. Simple as that. You don't want to hide the items up against the back wall of your garage or behind heavy barriers. No, bring them out into the yard or driveway and place them front and center so people can actually access the things they want to buy. They can actually touch it, they can see it. Invite a face painter. Now, a face painter is important, not for the, this is what I call collateral cost, because if you have children, if you have a large yard or garage sale and people come with their children tend to get bored quickly. And if you have children at your yard or garage sales, this kind of sales will not hold their attention for long. But if you have a face painter, for example, you can bring over a college students or a local art students to perform face painting for children. So this sort of is a win-win because you're able to retain parents there, and the face painting exercise enables the children to have fun and have their faces being painted, and the face painter can also earn money. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. Parents are comfortable, you have your sales, and you're paying somebody to make some extra cash. Next, you can also sell balloons, right? If you cannot find a face painter, sell balloons. You buy the balloons in wholesale at Walmart or one of those large stores, and you just sell them there. So every child loves a balloon, right? And if you can't get a face painter, as I said, just get the balloon. Now you can sell the balloons for $1 each. That's cheap profit, easy profit, cheap money. And this balloons will keep children happy and engaged, and that will free up their parents to browse longer. Make it easy for buyers. You want to group similar items together. You want to categorize books, movies, and music. You want to sort clothes by size or type. Keep items off the ground and leave enough room for people to get around happily and quickly. You also want to do one thing that's very important, and I've seen this before. People leaving souvenirs in the pockets. You don't want to do this? No. You want to check all pockets, bags, and boxes for money and things you may have forgotten to remove. Another thing you can do to keep the yard sale alive and active is to encourage bulk buys, right? Because folks who generally shop yard sales are looking for deals. You bet they're looking for deals. And so you want to offer discounts for buying in multiples, such as, 3 for $5 or 10 for $15, or, whatever it is. But you want to encourage the bulk buys because those shoppers, they get a deal and you get faster relief from redundant stuff. You can close the deal faster, right? Another thing you can do to keep a yard sale alive and active is to price and label items clearly. If you don't put, and this is very simple, if you don't put prices on things, your customers will be forced to come to you to ask what the price is every time they see something they like. And imagine if you have a very busy yard sale. This is just frustrating to you and to the customer, right? So you can save your time and their time by clearly marking the prices on each item. You want to create signs that outline the price for each product variety. You can have boxes or tables with a fixed price for everything on them, so that can save you from having to individually label everything. It also helps display things. Okay, this is pretty much it. I will talk to you to the next section. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are about to wrap up today's show. So we've talked about how to plan a yard sale, how to keep a yard sale alive and active, and now we're going to talk about how to manage the last hour of a yard sale. Right? You start at 8, you're finishing around 4 or 5, and I'm going to show you a few tricks and tips on how to manage the last 2 hours of a yard sale. One thing you can do is donate your leftovers. So as the day winds down, if you got stuff left over, you can contact a local charity and invite them to the party if they're not already there. That way you can help someone who didn't have the money to shop. You can also offer end of day specials, right? So the thing is that most yard sales and garage sales end between 2 and 4 p.m. depending on where you live. But you'll get stragglers who arrive late for last minute deals. So around 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., you can mark all your items at 50% off. You can place a large sign out of the yard that advertises the price change, and watch all those items you do not wish to keep in your garage. Just leave, right? They can vanish right away. So it's better to have a lower profit than having nothing. You don't want to bring those items back into your garage or basement. The next thing you also want to do is you want to stock a cash box with change and small dollar bills, because garage sale shoppers, they will pay in all different kinds of increments. Even though you've done the right pricing, as I said earlier, in terms of a quarter increments, you'll have people handing you 20s, 50s, and maybe even $100 bills for items that cost just $1 or $2. So you need to be prepared with a variety of small bills and change in a cash box. Another thing you need to do is to watch the clock, because if stuff isn't selling as the day goes on, you want to be as flexible as possible. As it gets later, you want to lower the price. This goes on to what I said earlier about offer end of day specials. This is very important because usually a lot of people, when they do yard sales or garage sales, they are so focused on talking to clients, to prospects, to visitors, and they are sucked into the whole atmosphere. They forget about time. And the goal of a yard sale is to get rid of everything, is to get rid of redundant stuff. So the last thing you want is spend your time just talking to people all day, and at the end of the day realizing that you only sold 50% of your inventory. So nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants that. So as you want to watch the clock and be flexible in terms of pricing. All right, this is it, folks. I really hope that you had you learned something and we were able to add value to your life. If we did, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so we can inform you, we can notify you, or YouTube can notify you whenever we release a new show. Here is a recap of today's conversation. I spoke to you about how to plan a yard sale, how to keep a yard sale alive and active, and how to manage the last hour of a yard sale. Now, how to plan a yard sale. Advertise in advance. Set up the night before. Check things out with your neighbors. Provide clearly marked parking. Check the weather. Pick your spot. Provide clear directions. Keep it simple. Set up solid display tables and a table for purchases. How to keep a yard sale alive and active. Sell beverages and/or food. Have music. Don't stalk visitors. Place items for sale in areas that are easily accessible. Invite a face painter. Sell balloons. Make it easy for buyers. Encourage bulk buys. Price and label items clearly. And how to manage the last hour of a yard sale. Donate your leftovers. Offer end of day specials. You want to stock a cash box with change and small dollar bills. And you want to watch the clock. Good luck. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.